Hey everyone, Rich from Rich CCG Bets here. Hope you all are having a great day. Hope you had a great weekend. I wanted to see if I were to buy every card that you could pull from a pack right now in Disney Lorcana, how much would it be? And then from there, I was like, well, which sets have the most market value and which ones have the least? And so that's kind of where this video came about, and I put together some what I call beautiful slides with some amazing data. And so if you love data, if you love Lorcana, make sure to subscribe if you're not already. But yeah, I wanted to just kind of rank these sets against each other and just see which ones had the most market value, and then see at the very end how much it would cost me to get everything that you can pull inside of Lorcana. And I actually did this video about like 9 months ago, and so we only had sets 1 through 9 that I did the video on, and so I added some notes so we could compare and see how that has changed over time. And honestly, I think the numbers are going to shock you, but without further ado, let's just dive right into it. So the very first set, and this is going to be the lowest valued set, and I'm going to just caveat there's only 12 enchanteds in Rise of the Floodborne and the first chapters, so they have quite a bit of an unfair advantage. But either way, the lowest total set value for Lorcana is Rise of the Floodborne set 2, and that is about $1,118. You can see the previous set value was $844. Like I said, I did this at the very beginning of October, and we have a 32% increase in that time period. So for it to be the worst one and increase 32%, that's a trend we're going to see pretty similar, and it just shows that Lorcana is doing amazing. These cards, if you're holding on to them, are doing really well. Say what you want about Enchanteds. I know I've made videos about I don't like buying Enchanteds, and I sold Enchanteds and I have no regrets, but if you held on to a lot of these Enchanteds, you're doing pretty well, up 32% for the set. The highest value card currently right now is the Cinderella card, really cool card. $267 about is the market price. And the average Enchanted, again, there's only 12 Enchanteds in this set, but the average Enchanted is $88. And so the Cinderella is quite a bit of an outlier as far as this set goes. There's not too many other Enchanteds that people are really wanting from this set. But the Cinderella, like I said, is a really amazing card, and I think well worth the value. At number 12, the second worst set as far as market value goes is Into the Inklands. And this is the one that most people consider like the worst set of Disney Lorcana. And a lot of this because the cards itself weren't great. There was nothing too much to chase for, and it was incredibly overprinted. And so just there's way too much supply out there on the market right now, which is going to have a negative impact on the market value. But market value is $1,186.27. This, I believe, is the worst increase from like the 10, 11 month period. It only went up 15%. And so I've made videos in the past of how I'm not touching this set. I'm not going to be spending my money to invest in this set. And for this huge boom we've seen in Lorcana and the set value only going up 15%, let me take a step back. 15% in less than a year is a great return. Like, I'm not trying to diminish that at all, but when you compare it to other sets, it isn't too great. So the Mickey Mouse Trumpeteer is going to be the chase of the set, which I don't think it was originally the chase of the set, but with all things Mickey Mouse, they rise to the top. This card is sitting at about $148, and the average Enchanted, I believe this is the lowest one, is going for just under $64 per Enchanted. At number 11, we have Azurite Sea. So total set value for this is $1,244.87. Previous set value, $1,042.33. This has a set increase of 19%. The highest value card is Tigger. We've seen anything Winnie the Pooh starting to blow up in this set, Fabled, Attack of the Vine. I even think the Piglet from Ursula's Return, I think that's the set it's from, has gone up quite a bit as well too. People just love Winnie the Pooh, and really, if any set has Winnie the Pooh in it, like in any of those IPs, like that's usually going to be one of the top chase cards from the set because it's one of the most popular IPs. But yeah, the highest value card, that Tigger, is going for $156.05, and the average Enchanted is $66.70. At number 10, we have Ursula's Return. Again, I've made videos of what I deem the 4 worst sets of Lorcana that I'm not investing in. Rise of the Floodborne, Into the Inklands, Azurite Sea, and Ursula's Return, by no surprise, are the 4 lowest value sets in Lorcana right now. I'm just going to leave it at that. I won't talk about it much further, but feel free to comment your opinions on that. Total set value is $1,341.47. This is actually the second highest jump from the previous time I ran this analysis. Up 71% is pretty crazy. A lot of that had to do with, at the time of me recording the original values, this aerial card was barely over $100, and the second highest card was like $60. And so the Enchanteds were at rock bottom. A lot of this having to do with rotation happening just a couple months earlier. A lot of the playable cards in the set, everyone was just fire selling because they thought these are just not important anymore. So we saw basically an all-time low for Ursula's Return, which is why we have a huge price increase. The highest value card is that Aerial Sonic Warrior. It's a playable card that people will play in their blue steel decks today, just because they got reprinted in later sets. But the price is $186.43. It'll be interesting to see how this Enchanted does when it gets rotated out. I'm curious if it'll drop or not, or if it will continue to stay where it is or rise because it is a princess. And this is our first princess. Actually, no, Cinderella was our first princess. So this is our second princess. We actually have no more princesses, surprising enough, but we have a lot of other IPs that are amazing as well in these next few sets. I don't think I called this out, but the average Enchanted is $72.19. So not terrible, but the thing with this set and Into the Inklands is we saw a lot of location Enchanteds, which heavily bring down the Enchanted costs, just because those Enchanteds are going for a while $10 to $15. I think now it's like $15 to $20, $25, but that definitely negatively impacted the average. The next high set is Shimmering Skies. The total set value is $1,715.05. Previous set value was $1,242.95, and it's up 38%. A lot of that has to do with this Mufasa card, because that card was coming down to close to $200, $210, and you can see it's up $170. And that contributes a pretty significant weight to the overall set value. But you do get a lot of the other Enchanteds that have seen a lot of growth over time, clearly, because the set is up 38%. But this Mufasa card, arguably one of the best Enchanteds in all of Disney Lorcana. I just love how the colors pop, and it's Mufasa. Like, he's awesome. Mufasa, ruler of Pride Rock. The card is going for $382.74, so getting close to that $400 mark. I'm pretty sure this is an all-time high for it, unless it was like skyrocketed when the set first came out. I wasn't in Lorcana, so I don't really know. But the average Enchanted for this set is $93.26. Next, we have Arcasius Island, which I love this set. I've talked about it. I think this is where Lorcana started to take off as far as the quality goes for the artwork for Enchanteds. Obviously, I love the Mufasa, but like I don't think the other cards in that set were great. And then the next set was Azurite Sea, which was weird. But Arcasius Island set number 7, I think the Enchanteds look amazing. The current set value is $2,064.13. So the first time we've broken that 2K mark, which is a pretty big milestone. The previous set value was $1,744.17, up 18%. Pretty low growth. I think a lot of this has to do with, by the time when I originally pulled this set, Fabled had just come out and no one liked Fabled. And so eyes were on Arcasius Island and Reign of Jafar. And so yes, we had both those sets where the prices decreased quite a bit from release, but they weren't hit a ton. And there was quite a bit of playable cards in this set and Reign of Jafar. And so previous set value like didn't really tank so much. And so 18% growth doesn't look great, but this is where, again, Lorcana, like, you used to see cards just absolutely dip, and then slowly come up. With Arcasius Island going forward, more specifically Reign of Jafar, we would see like a dip and then it just kind of stay there and then shoot up. We wouldn't see it just drop and drop and drop. But the highest card is All Is Found, so I think this is our only action. Nope, the very next set has an action as well too. But All Is Found, it's got Elsa and Anna in there, it's frozen. So you get the frozen tax going for $263.69. And the average enchanted for the first time is over $100. We have $112.37. We have the Tamatoa, that's really popular. We have Belle in there, that's really popular as well. Some really, really, really cool cards in this set. Next, we have Reign of Jafar, which has one of my all-time favorite enchanteds. I remember this card was like hovering a little bit over $100, and I was like, if it dips below $100, I'll buy it. And it never did, so I never bought it. And now it means no worries is going for $336.77. And I'll probably never buy it because that's just too high for me. I'd rather, like I've talked about in the past, I'd rather have sealed than cards outside of Wilds Unknown that I'm trying to master set. So it doesn't make sense for me to buy singles. But the total set value for this set is $2,748.90. Huge jump from Reign of Jafar that was then Arcasia's Island that had just broken that $2,000. Reign of Jafar is almost getting into that $3,000 tier. The previous set value was $2,072.67, and so we've seen a 33% increase from this set alone. Average enchanted is $150.28. And so again, the money shows it. The artwork is starting to get so much better for these enchanteds that you're not seeing these like $10, $15, $20 enchanteds anymore. A lot of them are going for pretty high value. The next set, and this might shock you, the first chapter comes in, I believe, number 6. And yeah, number 6. And like I mentioned at the very beginning of the video, this set only has 12 enchanteds, where Rise of Floodborne has 12, every other set has 18, and then Fabled onward has iconics. I haven't even talked about that, but notice you haven't seen any iconic sets. That's because we're including the iconic prices, and those prices are very, very high. So this total set value is $3,257.35. The previous set value is $2,433.35, a 34% about increase in about 10 and a half, 11 months. The highest card value, no shocker, this has been the highest valued card by a lot in this set ever since it came out. And it will always be, I am willing to bet my collection that this will always be the highest valued card in the first chapter. This Elsa card raw right now on TCG player market price is going for $935.51, and the average enchanted is $263.43. I believe this is the third highest average enchanted. So if you were to do quick math, 263 times 6, so let's just say 250 times 6 because that math is easier, you would increase the set value by $1,500, and this would be a $4,700 set, which would push it up quite a bit. But again, you have the iconic sets that just have the iconics that are 1,000 plus, and so it really cannot compete with it. But do not get fooled and think that this is not a great set. This is an amazing set, and like I've mentioned before, the set that I'm going to be focusing on the rest of the year. At number 5, we have Whispers in the Well. And here I don't have a previous because Whispers in the Well didn't exist when I ran that data. Or maybe it did and I just didn't put it in because it had just come out and I knew prices were going to drop. It's been so long, I can't remember, so I apologize. But either way, total set value currently right now for this set is $6,300. Yeah, it's $6,300. Let's just say that. Highest value card right now on TCG Play Market Price is the Spooky Sight. We are seeing it drop, I think, quite a bit. So I think it's still going to be the leader because you have Goofy, Mickey, Donald in it. Awesome looking card. But I think it was overhyped and prices are starting to go down. But this card right now, market price is $790.50, and the average enchanted is $205. So again, we see the average enchanteds are above $200, and I think we're going to see that the rest of the way going forward. At number 4, we have Winter Spell. So total set value currently right now is $3,257.35. That's incorrect. Give me a sec. Okay, There we go. This looks better. Total set value is $7,315.27. And I didn't call this out earlier. The highest value card, I'm just looking at Enchanteds because I'm just trying to even out the playing field as much as we can, because not every set has an iconic, but every set has an enchanted. So when I say highest value card for Spooky Sight for Whispers in the Well, obviously the Hades and Ariel are higher, but that is the highest enchanted. And so the highest enchanted in Winter Spell right now is the Elsa Ice Artisan, aka the Elsumbrion, I think is what Joey has claimed it to be. I should know this, but I am totally blanking on it right now. I want to say Elsumbrion, but that is going for $855.20. I think it was getting up to $1,000 before, and so it's dropped a little bit, but still an amazing looking card, a card that you could have gotten for probably $200 months and months and months ago at the beginning of the year, and it has just absolutely climbed. The average enchanted right now, heavily weighed by this Elsa, is going for $268.89, the second highest. And so that actually is higher than the first chapter, which is pretty crazy that the highest average enchanted for a modern set that came out in 2026 is higher than a set that came out in 2023. So we got the top three left. Who do you think is going to be number three, number two, number one? I'm pretty sure you know number one. But at number three, this one kind of shocked me, and it's a difference of like $6. So at $7,819.91, we have Attack of the Vine, which is the newest set. Obviously, that's why the price is going higher. We've seen this dip quite a bit, as far as a lot of the enchanteds are just dropping like pretty hard, and that's normal. That's nothing to be concerned about. But for this set, the highest value card enchanted wise is the Winnie the Pooh and Piglet Honey Mages. Easily a top 5 enchanted card. Like, you could say top 3 and I'd be okay with that. This card is amazing. It's going for $917.67. I believe it was going for over $1,000, and so it's dropped a bit. But you can see the average enchanted cards are $212.59, and so that's a lot lower than other sets. A lot of this is just because it is the newest set. Legendaries are at its highest, epics are at their highest, and also it has a ton of playable cards in this set. And so a lot of people are playing like the Pocahontas rare. You've got some Woody and Buzz cards in there, Gaston, Mike Wazowski, Soli. There's so many cards in this set that are seeing a lot of play right now. And so those rares, super rares, and legendaries are retaining their value quite a bit, which is pushing their total set value. But it's a lot higher than Winter Spell by like $500. And so I think it's going to stay at the top 3, mainly because of this Winnie the Pooh Piglet card. But, sorry, like $7 or less than $7 higher at $7,826, we see Wilds Unknown, my favorite set of all time for Disney Lorcana, because it introduced Pixar, more specifically Toy Story. The highest value card right now, enchanted wise, is the Alien True Believer, an amazing card that has dropped a ton. So this card was going for like $450, starting to get close to $500. I'll be honest, I bought one for $450. Well, I bought one for $450 value. I had a card that I traded and then put like $300 on top. So like the value of it was $450, but I definitely overpaid. But either way, $385 I think is still a steal. I think you can get it for a lot lower. People are trying to push that market downward a bit. So if you don't have this card, get it now. If you want to get multiple copies of this card, get it now. Just look at it. It's amazing. The average enchanted in this set is $125. I just had to double check. I was like, there's no way that's right. But it is right. And the main reason is because the total set value is getting carried hardcore by that Buzz Lightyear iconic card. And even the Merida iconic card's doing well. But at the end of the day, like, yes, we're not in the 200 average enchanteds. There aren't too many that are below $100. So like, it's doing pretty well. Again, it's the second most recent set, and so there are a lot of playable cards. This alien card in particular, you've got Woody in there, like all the toys that are doing well, Jesse, Bullseye, Rex. You've got Eleanor, who is probably one of the best cards in the game right now in this set. So She's carrying a pretty heavy price as well. Dale's in there. They've got, again, playable cards, and then Pixar cards are doing really well, but that Buzz Lightyear is the third most expensive card in all of Disney Lorcana. It might be above the Minnie Mouse market price wise on TCG Player, but I could be wrong. But at number one, we have Fabled, and what we see on the left is absolutely crazy. So $12,998.55. 13,000. Let's just say $13,000 total set value for Master Setting Fabled. The previous set value, if you bought all these cards according to the market price at the very beginning of October, $5,117.56. So we've seen a 154% increase on one set alone. I went to see what the total market price was for all 9 sets in that previous video. 13,300 about. So this set alone is almost as expensive as if you had bought every single card in Disney Lorcana 11 months ago. Like, how crazy is that? And how awesome is that to see how Lorcana truly has grown in appreciation for the cards, in the artwork, and the playability and collectability of Lorcana. The highest value Enchanted is this Winnie the Pooh Honey Wizard, going for close to $1,300 right now, and the average Enchanted just steamrolls the previous high. I think it was like $283. This one's $404.76, which is absolutely crazy. Fabled probably needs a reprint, but at the end of the day, I love having just that one set that's just absolutely crazy and like super collectible. I think of like the legendary collection for Pokemon, or like Skyridge or Aquapolypse or something like that, that like had amazing art, very low printed, and then people just are wanting it in the future. So if you got Fabled, hold on to it, to not rip it. So what is the total cost for everything if you were to rip open every pack? If you did your quick math, you probably know. If not, put your guesses in now. But like I said, 11 months ago, it was about 13,300. We are now at $56,944.03, rounded up $57,000, like 4.5x. And obviously we've had what, 4 more sets, 5 more sets, 4 more sets, 4 more sets, there we go, come out since then. So naturally we're going to see that, but for it to 4.5x, like that's crazy. Lorcana is doing well. These cards are amazing. Shout out to all the artists who put all in the work to put these amazing cards together in the set. Shout out to Ravensburger for just all that they're doing. But Lorcana cards, they're amazing. Lorcana, it's an amazing. Go play the game if you're not already. Go start collecting some of these cards for a binder or collecting some sealed, because this game has a lot of legs. It's going to be running a lot in the future. $57,000. That's so crazy. That is probably more than if you were to buy every Scarlet and Violet Pokemon era Pokemon, and that has more sets. Don't quote me on that, but I'm like very confident that that's true, because you have these iconic cards that you can pull for over $1,000. There's not too many $1,000+ in Pokemon right now. Like Ascended Heroes has the Gengar, maybe the Pikachu. Scarlet and Violet era has the Umbreon, and I think that's it. Like, that's crazy. Where Lorcana, every set you're gonna have 2, as long as there's 2 iconics, maybe more. And then when you have the collector booster boxes, you're gonna have 6-figure cards. That's so crazy with the serialized cards. But anyways, to answer the point of this video, like I said, $57,000. If you win a lottery today, just pull out $57,000. Buy every card on TCG Player. You'll be a happy person. We'll see if in another year it goes up another 4.5K or 4.5 times. I doubt it, but I'm also not surprised with what Lorcana can do. So that's all I got for you. It's a long one. Thanks for sticking around. What is your favorite set? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you all in the next video. Take care.